Greetings, metalheads, and a very warm welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George, and today I'm back with a collection update. Today I'm going to be taking you through the very interesting and awesome selection of gifts that I received for Christmas, courtesy of family. A really awesome selection of gifts that I received this year. Truly, thoroughly spoiled, I must say. And it's an interesting time of year. It's a bit of a confliction, really, isn't it? That it's a very family orientated, very upbeat, jolly, family friendly event, time of year, season, holidays, whatever. But actually, what I've received here is a lot of death metal, a lot of good old gory, grotesque, extreme death metal goodies. So first of all, start off with something that I was really surprised to receive, and I'm very grateful to have received. May have dropped a few hints a while ago, but I've received this rather lovely vinyl copy reissue of the first Death album, Scream Bloody Gore, from 1977. This reissue is from 2016. Relapse Records as well. This is arguably, and I think rather difficult to dispute, one of, if not the first death metal albums. It's also one of my all-time favourite death metal albums. Such an iconic cover, such an iconic album. I absolutely freaking love this album. Scream Bloody Gore, a gift from my dad, in fact, in this lovely vinyl format. Just want to show you this very interesting colour scheme that we've got going on here. This is such a cool album. So if you've been following the channel and the collection updates, you may have seen a little while ago, it'd be months ago now in fact, I was showing off the vinyl reissues that I had picked up of Human and Individual Thought Patterns, both very good albums from Death, quite considerably different from Scream Bloody Gore in fact, but I was kind of making it my mission to try and pick up these Relapse colour splatter vinyl reissues because they're really nice. They've done a great job on all of these ones. They've got extensive inserts, literature and all sorts going on in here. They're really cool. They've also got this very nice but quite difficult to actually show off without blinding you with glare, sort of reflective sheen sleeves. Very cool though. And as I say, I absolutely love this album, so I was over the moon to be tearing this open. What an absolute classic from Chuck Schuldiner, Chris Reifert, those absolute legends. How young Chris looks in that shot. This is the classic Death debut. Absolutely love this album, really do. It's a benchmark, good old Florida death metal album. As you say here, it's a splatter, but it's a custom tricolour merge with splatter edition. Very interesting. Chock full of classics. Infernal Death, Zombie Ritual, Mutilation. They got Evil Dead, Scream Bloody Gore. Such a great album. And I just love that cover. I was very tempted to get that on a t-shirt recently in one of the Black Friday sales, but kicking myself now that I didn't. So we've got Scream Bloody Gore, the debut. And I've also been extremely lucky to receive the second album as well, Leprosy. So I've now got 4 of these nice Death Relapse reissues. Leprosy. This was actually the first Death album that I heard. The first Death album that I came across. Again, lovely reissue with that kind of mirrored, shiny sleeve there. This is an absolute stunner of an album. In a short while after Scream Bloody Gore, it's a year, but so much change, so much progression is apparent in the sound there. You know, there have been a lot of changes within the band, of course. Chris was out of the band by that point. Reifert on to form Autopsy. So there's been a rejuvenated, reassembled lineup here. Again, we've got a cool insert there. But wow, this is a benchmark classic, and I feel like this is probably one of the most influential death metal albums of all time. I think that's quite hard to deny. Certainly when you consider some of the tracks on this album. Really cool. I really do like these really cool splatter vinyls. They are really, really cool. They really stand out. We'll talk about benchmark influential tracks. The title track, Leprosy, of course. Born Dead, Forgotten Past. This album is start to finish just full of absolute classics. We've also got Pull the Plug, Open Casket, Primitive Ways, Choke on It. It's quite difficult to show because of the glare, of course, but I love this album too. And I've been really, really enjoying revisiting Death over the last year or so. They've been one of these bands that I've known of them for years. I've had copies of Scream Bloody Gore and all of the albums on CD. Scream Bloody Gore and Leprosy in particular. I've had them for a long time. Can't be too specific with years, to be honest, but never really committed and fully into exploring all the albums and completing the discography until a bit more latterly. And you know what? There is not a bad Death album. There's not a bad moment in there. Sadly, tragically, too short a career. They were such an amazing band. And these vinyl versions are so cool. Just look at that. That is just pure Death. Absolutely incredible stuff. So truly, truly thrilled to have been gifted Scream Bloody Gore and Leprosy. So now all I've got to do is pick up vinyls hopefully from the same series of reissues of Spiritual Healing, of course. That'll be up next. That'll be my next target. And then Sounds of Perseverance. Weirdly enough, Symbolic is a little bit of a difficult one to track down, but hey ho, so chuffed with that. So then I've got one more vinyl to show off, which is another excellent gift. This is another all-time favourite death metal album. It was one of the first death metal, extreme metal albums that I picked up and that I heard. Such a great album. From Decapitated, from Poland. I believe this was the third album. This is Nihility. Or was it the second? I think it might have been the second. But this album, from, I think it was about 2002, if I remember correctly. I think it says on the back here. This is a seriously heavy album. It's been enjoying a lot of attention for the anniversary. It must have been like the 20th anniversary, where Decapitated actually toured the album in full, quite extensively. And I did see them on that tour in Norwich at the waterfront. And what a great album. What an absolute benchmark moment this is. This, I did drop enough hints with this one as well. This white vinyl, courtesy of Earache Records, of course. I believe this was part of their sort of pressed on demand series, where I guess if they get enough orders, or if they get enough people showing interest in a certain album in a certain colour or whatever, then they'll actually do the press. This was actually in the Christmas or the Xmas sale series, so not quite a first time round press, but I know that it's currently still available on there, and it's a really good price. So if you are looking to pick up this great reissue of Nihility from 2023 with that insert that I've just shown you there, lovely white vinyl, and just eye-catching cover, disgusting of course, and it's just a great album. Absolutely monstrously heavy. I mean, you talk about classic death metal with Death, Scream Bloody Gore, Leprosy, where you had Chuck Schuldiner, his iconic vocals. I think he did really have a signature kind of vocal style that a lot of other people have tried to emulate afterwards. He was a pioneer, excellent player, fantastic guitarist, and surrounded by a lot of very talented musicians as well, in all the incarnations of Death's lineup. That was benchmark stuff, technical, progressive, but with Decapitated, this is more like sledgehammer, technical, brutal death metal. This is hard-hitting stuff. We had, obviously, they've had a very transitional career. They've had lineup changes through tragedy, through, I guess, the natural course of being in a band. There's differences of opinions. People come and go, of course, but this was a good lineup. At this time, we had Sauron on vocals, who I think was a very good vocalist. Absolutely just really fits this brutal death metal. We've got Martin on bass. We have Vitek on drums and Vog, kind of the soul mastermind there now, on guitars. Great musicianship, I have to say. I have always held this album in a really high regard. This is one of the first death metal albums that I came across, and I still maintain this is one of the heaviest death metal albums. It's brutal, but I love it. I really do. Perfect Dehumanization, The Answer, Eternity Too Short, Mother War, Nihility, Spheres of Madness, wow, Symmetry of Zero, ouch. And this actually includes a cover of Napalm Death's Suffer the Children as well, which is a very cool bonus. So this might not be classic death metal in the way that Leprosy and Scream Bloody Gore is, of course, but this is top-notch, high-quality death metal, and there's not much you can really fault it for. It's good. The playing is brilliant, really good vocals, hard-hitting stuff. Not an overly long album either, so it's not too much of a workout. Just like, I was surprised really, revisiting Scream Bloody Gore and Leprosy quite a lot over the last year, as I say. They're not very long albums at all, so a lot of impact for quite short releases, but as is often the way. You know, just look at Rain and Blood, for example. So I've been really spoilt with this little vinyl selection here, and I'm chuffed to bits with all of these. As I say, there might have been a few hints dropped here and there, but overall, I'm chuffed with that. So then I've actually got a couple of articles of clothing to show off as well. And these are gifts. This is a gift from my parents. Again, courtesy of Earache Records in their Xmas sale, or I think it was Black Friday, Xmas sale, whatever. It's still ongoing. I think it's ongoing until the end of this year, or I'm not quite sure. There's still a chance, I think, you can pick up some stuff. It's actually a proper sale. I know I've said this in one of my other collection updates I did last. They've actually done a proper sale. Not like a pretend sale, where it's certain percentage off and it doesn't seem to make any difference at all. I appreciate it's difficult to find the balance between giving stuff away. You know, people still need to make a profit, but actually hats off to Earache Records, because they've actually had really good deals and really good discounts. You know, great albums like Carcass and Napalm Death vinyl for £15, you know, new stuff. But the merch as well has been really good. So these sweatshirts were about £20, I think, and these are really cool. So I decided to go with Blessed Are the Sick. This is Morbid Angel's second album. Can't quite recall the year, 91 or 92, I believe. Went with this because I love the artwork. It kind of reminds me of the classics. You know, it's that kind of very old-looking art. But I also love the sleeve prints here. So we've got the Morbid Angel logo down one sleeve, and then we've got Blessed Are the Sick. There we are, down the other sleeve. I just think it's really eye-catching, and it's nice and bright, and it's almost unassuming because it looks like it could be, you know, something quite artistic. Of course, Morbid Angel, yeah, I think that's fair to say. They've got a few good album covers in their selection that I'd be happy to have on a shirt. And I think it really works on this awesome jumper, or sweatshirt, crew neck sweatshirt, I think it is. Still available. Last time I happened to visit the Earache Records web store. So a really nice one there. Blessed Are the Sick. Great album as well. Obviously, my favourite Morbid Angel album is probably going to be the same as many other metalheads' favourite, Altars of Madness. But I think Blessed Are the Sick is up there, definitely. And more on Morbid Angel very, very soon. And what I couldn't help but pick up after I saw this and just thought, I have to have it. This was a little Christmas present to myself. Check out that for eye-catching. And it's absolutely enormous, so it does kind of swamp me a little bit. It's supposedly a large, but hey. This is Massacres from Beyond album cover, kind of re-imaged or reimagined, whatever. It's an Ed Repka cover, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's from the debut, From Beyond, 1991 or 1992, can't quite recall off the top of my head, but it's a classic piece of art. This time, it's kind of revamped, and there's some more weird monsters and creatures incorporated there. This is a 2023 version, I think, of the artwork. Again, we've got the Massacre logo on the sleeve. But what I always loved about this is the fact that it's we've got Earache Records logo on the other sleeve as well. What I love about this is that it's not necessarily screaming death metal at you. You know, other than the Massacre logo, perhaps, it doesn't scream death metal. It screams kind of horror, sci-fi, fantasy. You know, it could easily be a very low budget horror movie cover from the 80s or some early video game cover, you know, some sort of Doom looking thing. I just think it's great though, and I also love the album. It's such a great album. It's a classic, an absolute classic. Massacre. Oh, a lot of tumultuous lineup changes and hiatuses and stops and starts in their career, of course. But I think the first album, From Beyond, you can't dispute the fact that's a freaking classic. And the Inhuman Condition EP, if I remember correctly, absolutely masterful material. As soon as I saw this, I thought, yeah, I'm having that. That is so mad, so eye-catching, but so cool. So a little extra Christmas present to myself. So that's all the death metal stuff that I've received this year, all the music-related stuff. There was obviously copious amounts of beer involved and some books and games and all sorts of stuff like that. But I think I've done very well this year, and I'm truly very pleased and very grateful to my family members for these good gifts. Just to remind, not that we need too much reminding about this excellent album. This is Scream Bloody Gore, Death's debut album, benchmark album, lovely splatter vinyl, along with the second album, Leprosy. Absolutely killer stuff. Freaking love it. Lovely vinyl versions here. And we've got the amazing Nihility from Poland's Decapitated, benchmark album as it is, on a lovely white vinyl. And we've got a couple of awesome items of clothing here. We've got Morbid Angel's Blessed Are the Sick sweatshirt, crew neck sweatshirt, and another sweatshirt which is just so bright and colourful, very uncharacteristic for me, Massacre From Beyond. So my friends, what did you get this year? Did you receive any cool metal gifts for your Christmas, or whatever you may call it, if you celebrate it or not? What metal merch did you receive? Did you get any awesome vinyl, CDs, tapes, merch? What did you get? Very interested to hear what we all received this year. Of course, this is very materialistic, but hey, that's what being a metalhead and a collector is all about. We love the collectability of this stuff. So do let me know what you received this year. Interested to hear. And let me know what you think of my little gift selection here. I'm very pleased with myself. Let me know what your thoughts are on these albums and on these awesome bits of merch. Thank you very much for watching this humble review, my friends. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please do feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. The support is very, very much appreciated as always. Do check back soon for more reviews and recommendations of all the good, heavy things. Until next time, take care of yourselves and stay heavy.